Hey, welcome back to the Pastoral Finance Podcast. I'm Todd Hukill, and this is episode 3. I want to start with a sentence that's easy to believe and quietly dangerous. The church will take care of me. Now, maybe nobody says it out loud, but a lot of pastors, they bank their future on it anyway. But here's the thing, in case you didn't know. Your church, it's not your retirement plan. And realizing that early is one of the kindest things that you can do for your family. Stick with me here and let me tell you about a conversation that I've had more times than I can count. Faithful pastor, decades in, loves his church loves him, and somewhere along the way, without anybody deciding it on purpose, everyone started assuming it would all just work out. That when the day came, the church would be there. Then the day gets closer and he realizes the thing nobody wanted to say. There's no pension. There's no account with his name on it. There's a parsonage he's lived in for 20 years that he doesn't own. And there's a board that loves him, but a board that turns over. Now, he's not lazy. He just trusted a promise that was never actually written down. Here's what makes this different for pastors and why a regular retirement article is not going to help you much. In most jobs, retirement, it happens in the background. Money comes out of the paycheck, the employer adds some, and it builds whether you think about it or not. Unfortunately, ministry usually doesn't work that way. A lot of churches don't contribute to retirement at all. Many never set it up, and the support that does exist is often a feeling and not a plan. We'll take care of our pastor, and that's a beautiful sentiment, but the problem is it's not a funded account. And here's the part that catches people. That promise is only as durable as the people who made it. And most churches, they have a steady flow of attrition, and that includes those who quietly told you not to worry. The board that loves you today is not the board sitting there in 15 years. Leaders change, budgets often tighten, and the warm understanding you had with the people who knew you, the ones who watched you bury their parents, dedicate their babies, that can quietly leave the room when they do. Not because anyone really betrayed you, just because the structure changed. So here's the hard truth, said as kindly as I know. Your church can love you completely and still not be your retirement plan. Those are two different things. One is a relationship, the other is a structure. And you need the structure on purpose with your name on it. Now, this is where it gets specific and where being a pastor actually works in your favor if you know the rules. Building your own plan doesn't mean trusting the church less. It means owning the part that's yours to own. First, get something started that belongs to you. Now, for most ministers, that's going to be a 403b-9. That's the church retirement plan, and it has one feature almost nothing else does. We'll come back to that in just a second because it's the whole reason this matters. Second, the size of it matters less than the start. A small amount set aside on purpose beats the perfect plan you keep meaning to begin. The moment you start, you're moving. Third, don't count the parsonage as savings. Living in a church-owned home, it's a real gift while you're serving, but you can't retire inside it, and it builds no equity that's yours. If you spent a ministry in parsonages, your retirement housing needs its own line. On purpose. Now, here's the piece I promise. The reason the 403b-9 matters so much. When you save inside a qualifying church plan, that money can do something in retirement that money in an ordinary IRA simply cannot do. A credentialed minister can have distributions from that church plan designated as housing allowance. And within the limits, that can be excluded from federal income tax. The same housing allowance that lowered your taxes your whole ministry can keep working for you in retirement, but only if the money is in the right kind of account. Move it to the wrong place, like an ordinary IRA, and that benefit, it's gone on those dollars. Not just reduced, but gone. So when I say build your own plan, I don't just mean save more. I mean save in a way that protects a benefit that others don't have. That's the difference between generic retirement advice and a plan that actually fits a pastor. This is one to take to someone who understands clergy tax rules. Don't guess, ask the question. I want to be clear about something because I know how this can feel. This is not about fear, and it's not about distrust of your church, and it's not about chasing wealth. It's about stewardship. You've spent your life telling other people to count the cost and plan ahead. This is just you taking your own counsel. Proverbs puts it plainly: the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Storing up isn't a lack of faith, it's wisdom, a quiet way of saying, God, I trust you to provide, and I'm going to prepare like you mean it. You can love your church and still build something your family can stand on. It was never one or the other. So here's where to start. Not with a big, overwhelming plan, with one honest question. Ask it plainly. If ministry income stopped, where would mine actually come from? If the answer is the church, then you found your work and you found it early enough to do something about it. If you want help seeing the whole picture, hey, shoot me a message and we can set up a quick call to help you determine what your next steps are. Here's what I want you to carry out of this one. Your church loving you and your church being your plan are not the same thing. One, you already have. The other, you get to build. And you can start this week with one account and one honest look at where your income would come from. This was never about catching up. It's about getting clear on what's yours. Quick reminders before we go. This show is for education and encouragement, not personalized financial or tax advice. Before you act on anything, talk it through with a qualified professional who knows clergy taxes and your situation. Hey, thanks for spending this time with me. Build the thing that's yours. I'll see you next time.